This screaming headline in the background is a tell-all. I have taken it from a newspaper, but just with some corrections. It's not Lipulekh. It's Lipu Lake. Lake in Nepali means highland, okay? A highland pass. That's why it's Lipu Lake and not Lipu Lake, as some Indian media outlets just write it. So it's a way of just maybe uh, making your presence felt by changing, by altering the spelling and whatnot. It's a means of domination, I think. So it's Lipu Lake. It's a highland pass. It's part of a parcel of Nepali territory that Nepal has been rightfully claiming over the decades. You know, it's a strategic pass, it's an all-weather pass. In fact, Nepal's territorial claims go beyond Lipu Lake. Even if we are to stick to the very controversial Treaty of Sugauli, inked supposedly after the war with the Brits in 1814, 1816. So it's a dismembered country after the Treaty of Sugauli, and India, the successor state of the British Empire, has not bothered to just uphold that controversial treaty as well. So it's a very contested topic in Nepal. Uh, it just gives rise to nationalistic fervor, nationalistic sentiments, patriotic sentiments, in fact, rightly so. So let's talk about this Lipu Lake controversy and the complicity of Nepal's giant neighbors, India and China, because it involves not only India but also China. So the two neighbors, they have agreed, they have a deal, they signed a 40-point deal for just trade and the movement of pilgrims through that contested pass, that contested all-weather pass. This pass is quite important strategically for Nepal, also for Nepal in particular, because it remains open round the year. There are several passes in India, just like Nathula, that are like not always open. They are quite treacherous ones, whereas this one is easier, and it's a very strategic point. From that point on, you can just have a close watch over Tibet and beyond. That's why it's very crucial, a watch post, if you will. But the two countries, the Bhai Bhai of Jawaharlal Nehru, the erstwhile Prime Minister, during which time India and China fought a very detrimental, a very vicious war in 1962. They are coming together when it comes to promoting trade, the flow of pilgrims, for giving their economies a boost by undermining Nepal's legitimate concerns. But what is Nepal doing? It has claims over that territory, that is all right. But what has it been doing all along to assert its claim, to bolster its claim over that parcel of territory in the far west? That is the key question we should be pondering over. Have we just, after this agreement, that understanding to just send 1,000 pilgrims to Mansarovar, Indian pilgrims to Mansarovar via that pass? Have we bothered to just make our displeasure known to the Indian side at least, and then the Chinese also, that this is our territory and this move of yours to just send those 1,000 pilgrims to Tibet without our consent, without consulting us, despite our strident objections, is not at all acceptable. Have we bothered to just seek clarifications from the embassy of India in Nepal at this point in time? Have we at the same time bothered to just approach China and just make our displeasure known? Because it's a bilateral deal. So there are like two sides agreeing to undermine Nepal's territorial claims, legitimate territorial claims for their vested mercantile interests, for their business interests, for their uh, for pursuing their national interest. This is a blatant violation of Nepal's territorial integrity and national sovereignty. This is a blatant violation of the United Nations Charter, of which all three countries are signatories. So, in this case, since our long standing efforts to engage the two sides in this issue have failed, what do we do? Shall we not raise this issue in international fora? Shall we not take this matter to the United Nations? If these continued diplomatic engagements fail to yield any tangible result in Nepal's favor, that is the question we should be asking. That is the question that this government should be pondering over. The new foreign minister, Shishir Khanal, at one time recently expressed hope that this matter will be resolved amicably through talks with India. But days after this remark from the foreign minister, the Indian move has come, and the Chinese side is quite complicit in this because Mansarovar, Tibet, now happens to be its territory, and it has decided to allow the Indians to enter their territory via the Nepali pass, which is a blatant violation of Nepal's territorial integrity and national sovereignty. On various occasions, on every relevant international forum, Nepal has been sticking, supporting China's one China policy, and Nepal has not done anything that just contravenes with India's national interest. Despite this, despite our resolute support for their national sovereignties, for their national integrity, what are we getting in return? Violation of our territory, violation of our sovereign space. So it's time we engage both the neighbors about this contentious issue, and we also, it's time we also engaged the international community. We circulate our uh, that political map in embassies around the world. If we are quite serious, if the government is quite serious about reclaiming her territory, what do you think about this contentious issue? Should we not internationalize this contentious issue? Should we just, does diplomacy mean just keeping quiet even when you are hurt, even when your national interests are compromised? I would like to hear from the enlightened audience. At the same time, I request you to subscribe to this channel, comment on our presentation, and press that like button if it touches your hearts and minds. We are trying to promote citizen journalism that is far from corporate feed and greed. Every support, every subscription, every comment counts. So just consider supporting us through thick and thin. Thank you for watching and thank you for listening.